Good evening everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the VDL Virtual Stallion Show. Many of you will have joined us on various bus and coach trips across Germany and Holland and Denmark and everywhere over the last few years to see different stallions and stallion stations and stallion shows, and unfortunately for COVID regulations we can't go on the bus trip. But this year we're bringing you the virtual event, and so tonight we're joined by Wiebe Ida from VDL Stud, who will be joining us shortly, and we'll show you a little bit of an insight into the VDL Stud, their amazing operation, and a selection of their stallions. So to start with, we'll play you a short video of an introduction to VDL, and then we'll start with some stallions. So enjoy.
Ooit begonnen met 1 hengst en 3 merries, is door integriteit, motivatie, innovatie en zelfwerkzaamheid de VDL Stud niet alleen in Nederland, maar over de hele wereld uitgegroeid tot een ware marktleider. VDL Stud heeft een dekstation, goedgekeurd volgens EEG-normen, dat het hele proces met eigen mensen vanaf het begin tot het einde begeleidt. Het sperma wordt onderworpen aan een strenge kwaliteitsanalyse. Ze werken met de modernste en meest geavanceerde apparatuur. Na goedkeuring wordt het sperma vers of bevroren, verzonden naar de verschillende fokkers over de hele wereld. Bekend staand om de uitstekende kwaliteit en getuigen de vele nationale en internationale successen behaald met de VDL tophengsten en hun afstammelingen tijdens wedstrijden op wereld- en olympisch niveau, weet men, wat hier geleverd wordt, staat voor kwaliteit.
Fantastisch gereden. Zeker dus Jurk Vlueling met Boubalou.
Door de persoonlijke verzorging, het trainen in eigen stallen en het laten berijden door professionele ruiters, kent men de paarden en hun eigenschappen en worden alle kwaliteiten optimaal benut. Sinds een aantal jaren beschikt de VDL Stud over een paardenkliniek. Deze is voorzien van zeer moderne apparatuur die nodig is voor operatieve ingrepen, zodat er ook in geval van nood snel en adequaat kan worden gehandeld. Alle hier voorkomende werkzaamheden worden uitgevoerd door een onafhankelijke dierenartsenpraktijk. Door al deze eerder genoemde factoren en door de samenwerking en krachten te blijven bundelen, is de VDL Stud in staat zijn positie te blijven handhaven, wat resulteert in een kwalitatief hoogwaardig eindproduct, dat niet alleen in Nederland, maar inmiddels internationaal bekendheid geniet.
A wonderful video there showing all the amazing facilities that VDL have alongside their incredible collection of stallions. Millie is going to be taking the questions through on the feed, so any questions you have at any point, please send them over, and Millie will be filtering those over. And we're also joined by Wiebe Ida van der Lagweg from VDL Stud. Good evening, Wiebe.
Hi.
Great to see you. And thank you so much for agreeing to do the virtual tour rather than the real tour for us tonight.
No problem. No problem.
Perfect. We're going to start...
Next year you're back here, I think.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. We're just going to start by cracking straight on with your stallions that we've got on the list for tonight. So the first stallion is a super popular stallion and one of my favourite characters. And the first one for tonight is Arezzo.
Arezzo by Chin Chin, Heartbreaker, Ranviel, Jasper. The third Preferent awarded stallion of the VDL Stud. Born in 2005 and proven at the highest level himself, jumping at Grand Prix level with both Jeske Curtin and Jur Vrieling. Arezzo is sired by the two-time Olympic stallion Chin Chin, out of a dam by the legend Heartbreaker, and he was bred out of a fantastic dam line. He's very closely related to the Grand Prix show jumper Dragonfly of Nicole Simpson, as well as Nakorde, the three-time Hamburg Derby winner of André Thieme. By Chin Chin, out of a dam by Heartbreaker with only 160 genes in his pedigree. He was a 160 show jumper himself as well. He won the Grand Prix competitions of Vestfold and Odense, as well as some 5-star 150 classes in London and Helsinki. A very successful horse with both the Irish rider Jeske Curtin and Jur Vrieling for the Netherlands. As a young stallion, he was already a fantastic talent, and he passes on his qualities to his offspring. What to think of VDL Edgar M of Manuel Zanatelli for Brazil? Second place in the Grand Prix of Rome, third in the Grand Prix of Brussels, and fifth in the Super Grand Prix of Prague. As well as Farah of Kim Emme, Rodrigo Almeida, Carrezzo of Gianni Consorti, Picobello Jasmine of Gregory Wattele, Farezzo of Edwin Smith, and many, many more. Arezzo VDL by Chin Chin, out of a dam by Heartbreaker Ranviel, out of a fantastic dam line, and of course he also passes it on to his offspring. One of the three Preferent stallions of the VDL Stud. He is one of the foundation sires of the next generation. Arezzo VDL.
Okay, so the next one is a young stallion, which is Chopano. I don't know if I say that right in Dutch, Wiebe Ida, but I'm trying. So we will have a look at him now and then come back to you.
So we start with the young stallions of the VDL Stud. Chopano VA by Chopin VA, and for them by Cassini 1, Caratino, Lord, Cordelabriere. 3 years of age, born in 2017 with a height of 1,68 m, Chopano VA is one of the young and promising stallions of the VDL Stud. His sire, Chopin, is a Grand Prix show jumping stallion by Casal, and he is impressing at the highest level, ridden by Matilda Carlson. He has all the scope, a fantastic rideability and fantastic way of jumping, and he's competing in the Global Champions Tours. The sire Chopin is here combined with Cassini 1 and Caratino, and Chopano VA's dam Tamara already produced the 150 show jumper Zoe. And Tamara's grandson Chinchero, who is also a son of Chopin, became the vice champion of the Holsteiner Stallion Show. Chopano's granddam Level produced several international show jumpers, and she's the full sister to the 160 show jumper Casseur de Prix. At the Zangerzijde Stallion Show with free jumping, Chopano VA already caught the eye, so the VDL Stud decided to add him to their stallion collection. Now ridden by James Billington, we can see all the scope and all the talent in this fantastic young stallion. Definitely a great addition to the VDL catalog. Chopano VA by Chopin, Cassini 1, Caratino.
So Chopano seems to show all of the, the foundations that you look for an amazing breeding stallion. But how is he developing under saddle? You know, as a young stallion, how do you find that he's developing in his sporting career?
Yeah, he's becoming 4 years now, so he's still young, but his rideability is really good. He is an easy learner. He takes everything very simple. He's becoming 4, but you can ride him as a 6-year-old. He understands everything, so we have to take it a little bit slow. That we don't hurry too much because he gives so much, and he jumps really good. There's a lot of scope, and the first foals are born now, and they're all brown but almost no white. Good size foals, and they all have a good gallop. So the first impression we're very happy with. And now if everything goes normal again and we're allowed to go to the shows, then he is, as a 4-year-old, he's allowed to go in half of April again to do his first show, official show.
Yeah, won't that be nice when we can all go to some shows again?
Yeah, it would be nice. We can send some videos again on Facebook and our website. Everybody can see everything, how everything develops and goes.
It's true.
Oh, brilliant.
Do you want to ask about that?
Yes, yeah, don't forget to send in your questions. We have a direct line here that goes from the page to us. So if you do have any questions for us and the team, then please send them through, and then we can get asking. Make use of this opportunity to get asking the questions.
Okay, so the next stallion we're going to look at now is Comthago.
Comthago, Comthago, Carthago, Caratino, born in 2014 with a height of 1,70 m. We've seen some great talents already in the collection of the VDL Stud, but Comthago is definitely one of the highlights. He is sired by the great Comthago, the horse who is striking every week on the highest level with Marcus Eining, and the son of Cornetto Belensky, combining this with a legendary Ratina. Comthago, out of a dam of the two-time Olympic stallion Carthago of Jos Lansing, and further on Caratino. And this mare by Caratino is Joyce, who competed herself at Grand Prix level. A lot of the mares in the pedigree of Comthago have been very successful in sports and also in breeding, so that makes this stallion extra interesting. But if we look at his own jumping skills, at his own jumping talent, then we are convinced right away. Comthago has a fantastic canter, fantastic rideability, the right amount of blood, and he has electric reflexes on the fences. He looks to have all the scope that we need as well, and definitely a very modern show jumper for the future. Comthago is a horse that has everything what it takes. He has got all the ingredients for top sport and hopefully also top breeding. His first foals look very promising. They are well developed long foals with great movements and including a great canter. Some of them have already obtained some vice champion and champion titles, which makes Comthago very interesting as well. Comthago, Comthago.
So, Viva, the controversial question is, obviously, that the Clinton line often brings some difficult contact to the mouth, you know, some difficult rein. Comthago is obviously from that pedigree. How is his rideability? How is he to ride?
He doesn't have that problem. He's also not a typical Comthago stallion. He's a little bit different type. In his rideability, you can see very much the Comthago line, because the Comthagos were always very good rideable, and he is also very good rideable. You can ride him on two small fingers and a normal snaffle, everything, and he's really easy to ride, and he's not pulling in the mouth, nothing. And for a Comthago, he has size and blood, and mostly they have a little bit stronger type and shorter or heavier, yeah. Smaller, but he's a little bit different. So I think he has more from his mother family, and that's a very strong line with many good horses, jumping horses and stallions. I can't hear you.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Does he throw the size of himself onto the offspring?
Yeah, he makes his horses bigger. We have a group of 3-year-olds now. We have 3 very good 3-year-old mares. And I think they have already the size for now starting 3-year-old 167, 170. And then we have some geldings also between 165 and 169. So he makes good sizes.
That's good. That's good.
Brilliant. We also have a question that's come through online. Perfect. We've had some queries over the importation of the chilled semen. Which is understandable. It's on the forefront of most breeders' minds coming into this season. And they are wanting to know whether frozen will be available for your stallions, including the young ones. Which I think we can all confirm over the Christmas time. We've had a wonderful collection of frozen semen from yourselves. So I think we can rest easy knowing that we do have quite a wide stock of frozen semen from yourselves, don't we?
Yeah, it's also important now at this time that you have a good stock of frozen semen of all the stallions there, so we can help the breeders at the last minute of every day, so we're not stuck into the new rules and the new importation things.
Brilliant.
The new rules are extremely complicated, but just so that everybody can be updated, there is some progress with the NVWA, which is the deaf equivalent in Holland, isn't that right, Viva?
Yep.
And they've now made some progress with the new GB model health certificate. So we hope that the progress will now be made over the next couple of weeks, so to allow the chilled shipments to carry on, you know, in a relatively post-Brexit normal way.
Yeah, exactly. But on the other hand, we try to fix it, you try to fix it, so normally we're going to find a way to fix the job.
Absolutely.
We work together to try and fix it.
So it is.
Okay, so the next stallion for tonight is the wonderful Dallas, and we'll watch a clip of him.
With Dallas by Douglas, Heartbreaker, Mr. Blue, Nimador, Erdball. 12 years of age, born in 2008, with a height of 1.73 m. This wonderful Grand Prix stallion of Jur Vrieling. Dallas, he has everything what it takes. With Douglas, Heartbreaker and Mr. Blue combined in his pedigree, he has the scope, he has the reflexes, and he has the quality that is required for the highest level. And he's shown that already at 5-star level with Jur Vrieling. Very successful with victories in the Puissance competitions of Oslo and Falsterbo. Also victories in Arezzo and London. And the 2nd place in the 150 in Aken, as well as a 3rd place in the Grand Prix of Jumping Zwolle. He's a horse with a very high level of carefulness, all the scope that you need, and a fantastic way of jumping as well. Typical for his breeding with Douglas, Heartbreaker and Mr. Blue combined. And his offspring are looking very, very well. Duck Comthago was the top seller of the Holger Hansel sales for €950,000, and many of his other offspring are also breaking through at international level in the youngster classes. Dallas VDL by Douglas Heartbreaker Mr. Blue, performing himself at 160 Grand Prix level with Jur Vrieling, and it's only a matter of time of his offspring will do the same.
So we've all seen over the years all of the promotional material about Dallas showing incredible levels of scope over the jumps. You know, he's something to behold with the amount of air he can give to the fences. Does that come through in the offspring? You know, does he pass that endless, seemingly endless scope onto the foals?
Yeah, he has a lot of power when he pushes from the floor and over the fences. He can go really big and high. And he also gives it to the children. They're very quick from the ground, a lot of scope. The only thing with the mare, you have to think the mare have to have a little bit length in the body, because he makes a very strong top line but a little bit short. So if you breed him, you have to think of your mare has a little bit length. That's the thing. If you think but for the rest of the type, he makes very good. He makes them really correct in the feet and in the legs, and careful horses. And they really stamp with a lot of power from the floor when they start to jump.
That's a great insight there for the breeders, you know. So, you know, if you've got a long line mare and you're looking to shorten them up and make them a little bit more compact and a bit more scope, then, you know, Dallas really should be on your list.
Yeah.
So, the next stallion is a stallion that was one of my very favourites from the Oldenburg licensing a few years ago now, and that's For Treasure.
For Treasure. For Pleasure, Comthago Ramiro Jasper. Born in 2016, but he has a pedigree full of proven sires, true foundation sires, with For Pleasure, Comthago, Ramiro and Jasper combined. And For Treasure, as a 3-year-old at the Oldenburger Stallion show, he stood out. He jumped with fantastic scope, with all the quality, and with his wonderful pedigree, he stood out from the rest. Nowadays under saddle, he's also showing great ability, and he also had some fantastic scores in the Stallion test in Zwickau, with a 9 for his character, a 9 for his willingness to work, and also his 10 for his jumping, and a 9.3 as his average final score for jumping. For Treasure, by For Pleasure, Comthago, the next generation is ready.
So For Treasure for me is like the kid that you hate at school. The kid that's good at everything, good at sports, good at music, really clever. You know, he won the Oldenburg licensing, he won the main premium for the quality of his offspring, he was excelled in his performance test. Obviously he's a young stallion, and how are the foals looking from him?
I'm sorry to say, but also really good. So he's really a hateful kid. But he makes really nice foals, modern type, light in the body, light in the legs, easy movers, and he can have a little bit bigger mare. That's no problem for him, because he makes the modern type of spot horses he gives. And he's developing, and in the shows he's riding now. He's starting to get some small shows. The rideability gets better, and he jumps really good. And you can see the type of him. It looks a little bit more the Comthago side, but the blood comes from For Pleasure, and the carefulness from For Pleasure. So it's a really good fixed combination.
And presumably now, you know, a lot of people that used him the first year when he looked so incredible at the Oldenburg licensing, are obviously interested in how he's going to, you know, now perform in sports. Presumably you're just waiting for the shows to start again so he can get out and start his sporting career.
Yeah, he did last year as a 4-year-old. He did, I think, only maybe a few starts, but only in the 1 meter class. There was not so much, and it's not so much to do. But he's ready to go. So as soon as we can start again, he can go. And the plan is to do this summer Bundeschampionat qualifications for the German Championships, and then that's the plan for the outdoor season.
Fantastic. Well, it sounds like the plan is set as long as COVID will allow.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so now one of your more proven stallions in terms of both sport and offspring, and it's the incredible Glasgow.
Glasgow van het Merelnest. By Nabab Darko Hedjas Cardinal. Born in 2006, he was a great promise from the very beginning. Bred out of one of the finest stem lines of Belgium by the great sire Nabab bred out of the mare Wendelina van het Merelnest. She's a daughter of Darko, and Wendelina competed herself up to 160 level. She is the full sister to the one and only, the legend Sapphire of McLean Ward. Olympic champion with the US team, both in 2004 in Athens and 2008 in Hong Kong. So Glasgow is a genetic masterpiece, and ridden by Juf Vrieling, he has proven these high expectations as well in the show jumping ring. He became one of the leading stallions of the Netherlands, one of the best show jumpers of his generation. Winner of the Nations Cup final in Barcelona, 5th place at the World Equestrian Games in Tryon with the Dutch team. Victory in the World Cup of Helsinki, a victory in the 5-star Grand Prix of Rome, as well as in the Grand Prix of Arezzo. Also the Nations Cups of Falsterbo and Le Bol were won by Glasgow van het Merelnest, ridden by Juf Vrieling. So he's the son of the great Belgium sires Nabab and Darko, and he was bred out of one of the best stem lines. So what about his offspring? His offspring are standing out with their scope, with their mentality, and they are breaking through at international level. We've seen some very interesting offspring such as Goddess Hero Z, Gigolo Z, Catuso van de Marhoeven, Guedor van de Grote Kamps, all horses who are now breaking through at 150 level. So Glasgow van het Merelnest is not only becoming a top show jumper himself, but also a top show jumping sire.
So Glasgow is a horse that we always, suggest to clients that, need to add a little bit of size and a bit of scope to their mares. And obviously he's one that's available in between his sporting schedule, which is sometimes quite intense. What will his availability be this year? And, in terms of whether Tokyo is going ahead or not, who knows? What is his availability for this season?
I think he will be available quite full, because there's not so many shows planned now until now, and Tokyo I don't think we go there, or maybe maybe it doesn't even go Tokyo, and so I think he will be available quite good this summer. There's not so many shows going until now.
Oh, that's good. That's good news for the breeders, because sometimes
That's nice for the sport, but it's the way it is at the moment with the COVID thing. And the semen is good, and his breeding is going good. His children are going very well now. They start to go to the 145 and 150 classes with good results. They are a little bit like himself. He also was late mature. He was big and a little bit late mature, and his children are the same. But you can see now, the older they get, the better they get, and they go also already in the highest level. So we're quite happy on that.
We always think when Glasgow jumps, he lifts his whole body. He gets his scope from using the whole body as well as just being careful. He's a really good horse to add scope to the mares.
He's unlimited scope.
So the next stallion that we're going to look at tonight is a stallion that was one of my favourites. I remember visiting you guys, and he walked past, and he has that incredible aura about him as a stallion, and that's Grand Slam.
Gardento, Heartbreaker, Mr. Blue, Nimador, Erdbal. 9 years of age, 1.71 m. If this pedigree sounds familiar to you, that makes sense, because Grand Slam is the half-brother to Dallas VDL. both bred out of the fantastic mare Wonder AS, the daughter of Heartbreaker Mr. Blue Nimador. This time combined with the great Gardento, the 3-time silver medalist at major championships with Peter Eriksson and one of the best sires of all time. Grand Slam himself as a 3-year-old already passed the KWPN Stallion test with 90 points with fantastic notes for all his jumping abilities. Nowadays, ridden by Alex Gill, he's been very successful already. He already won the one-star Grand Prix of Jumping Zwolle, and he was also 5th in the National Grand Prix of Hellendoorn, as well as a recent 3rd place in the 150 3-star Grand Prix of Herning in 2020. Only 9 years of age and already 1 Grand Prix victory in his pocket and many more to come. And his offspring, they are looking very good. They have the right blood, they are very light on their feet, and they have fantastic ability like himself. This Grand Slam, he is a striking stallion for the next generation. He's by Gardento, Heartbreaker, Mr. Blue, with already some fantastic results at the international level and many, many more to come for this now 9-year-old Grand Slam. Ridden by the British rider Alex Gill, with always scope, with always carefulness and very competitive. Grand Slam, Gardento, Heartbreaker, Mr. Blue.
So, Ida, we understand that Grand Slam has now moved to his new rider, Marlon Zanotelli, and which is exciting to see how his career now moves forward. And what will his availability be if COVID allows shows to start going again?
Yeah, then he's done some shows now already. In December, November, he did some shows. The first shows with Marlon then, it was really good results. He's really fun with the stallion because he's a really smart horse with very good brains and knows how to do the job, and it's very careful horse. So we hope for some good shows coming year. Marlon has also ticket to go for the Global Champion Tour competitions. So I think he will gonna do some shows. So his availability will be a little bit up and down, I think.
Okay, but for the breeders, we have a lot of Grand Slam frozen semen because he's always been one of my favourites. So Grand Slam we've got plenty of frozen semen in stock.
And if it's still if the COVID rules don't change, then we have the whole summer available. So, no.
That's true. And what type of mares would you say, Ida, that you think that is best suited to Grand Slam?
He gives some blood with the foals. He gives some blood and he gives size. So the best thing is a normal sized mare with who can have a little bit blood or has some blood. It's not a problem that the mare has blood, of course, because we need a lot of blood in competition these days. And he gives type. He gives correct foals. So I think it's going to be good. The first foals by him, I think they're 7 now, and they have been done already good shows as a 6 and 5-year-old.
Fantastic. Okay, so moving on to now, I mean, Grand Slam is working his way up through the levels, but now we have a horse that's reached the very top, and that is Hardrock.
Hardrock Z, Heartbreaker, Comthago, Rebel, and the thoroughbred Alcanar. Born in 2003 with a height of 1.71 m, approved by Zangerzijde and Cel Français. Hardrock Z, he's a celebrity all over the world. He's fantastically bred as the son of Heartbreaker and Comthago, a wonderful combination that also produced Harley VDL. Hardrock Z performed himself at the very highest level, ridden by Venezuela's Emmanuel Andrade. He participated at the World Equestrian Games in Cannes in 2014 and at the Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro in 2016. He also participated in the Pan American Games in Toronto in 2015, where he finished 6th individually after taking the lead in the first qualifier. A wonderful stallion himself, who has proven himself at the very highest level, a fantastic stallion with all the scope, all the rideability and all the quality and the right mindset to jump the highest fences in the world. For breeding, he's very interesting as well because he is out of a fantastic dam line. His dam Carte Blanche Z already produced numerous 160 show jumpers, such as Charlemagne of Italy's Silvia Bazzani, as well as the approved stallions Be the Freak and Domingos. Out of his first crop of offspring, Hardrock Z has already produced several international show jumpers, thinking of Hangstone JJZ, of Hurricane Z, Hash van de Vliegenhof Z, and many, many more. A very interesting stallion for the future. He has got what it takes.
So, Heartbreaker sometimes can throw, you know, a stronger frame, a stronger body, but normally really careful and really lift the legs, you know, over the fences. What does Hardrock, you know, does he throw a stronger frame to the foals, or, you know, what does he bring?
No, he does not really bring a stronger frame, but he gives good size foals and nice models and correct foals. They're very light on in the gallop and the trot and the walk. He gives maybe a little bit short top line, but strong line. But that comes also a little bit from the father. That he gives them a little bit sharp. But they're really good, nice foals and sharp foals. Very smart foals, clever.
Clever sometimes as foals can be sometimes difficult when they're not quite in the field where you left them because they've decided to go somewhere else. But,
yeah, but there's also a quality.
It's true. If you want them to jump, then you want them to be jumping out. It's true.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I mean, he's a fantastic stallion with a wonderful sporting career. So it'd be great to see, you know, how he develops, you know, as a breeding stallion as well.
Yeah, I got a phone call from a breeder, and he had some couple of years ago. He used some frozen semen from years before, and he had 2 4-year-olds now by Hardrock under the saddle riding. And he called me and said, "I'm going to call you this season for my match again for Hardrock because I've been riding them now for 6 months, and I'm really happy with them." So that's a good sign.
Yeah, that's always a good sign. If people, you know, if they want to come back to the stallion, then it's a really good sign, and yeah, that's good. Okay, so now we go to a younger stallion rather than Hardrock, and that is Impressive.
Impressive. Douglas, Contender, Corofino, Lord. Born in 2013, 1m72, approved by the KWPN, and Impressive lives up to his name. As you can see, he is a stallion with the looks, with the stallion appearance. Very strong, very powerful, very scopy. Born in 2013, so 7 years of age now, and ready for the international sport. As a 3-year-old, he already stood out in the stallion test with 82.5 points and standing out with his tremendous scope. Sired by the great Douglas. Douglas, the son of Darko, and Capitol, already for years one of the leading stallions of the VDL Stud. Combining Douglas with Contender and Corofino. The Dama Tendri already produced the 160 show jumper Eastern VDL, while her sister produced the 160 show jumper for Cento of Jos Lansing and Peter Clemens. The Grand Dam is Iduna, and she produced Corrido and Prestigious, who both compete at Grand Prix level as well. A very interesting dam line that also produced Johnny Paul's Fernando and also Juan Carlos Garcia's Coco Trio. Impressive by Douglas and Contender, now making a match with Jur Vrieling, and that is a match made in heaven. He has all the scope, he has a fantastic rideability and fantastic mentality, and those are all features that Jur Vrieling really likes in a horse and in a stallion. And his first offspring, they looked very promising as well at the Stallion show. The Impressives were very impressive.
To me, Impressive looks like he has a super impressive canter. He looks like he has you know, can cover a lot of ground. And his father, obviously, we've seen all the pictures of him jumping the cars in various shows that you've done across the years. And so, you know, does Impressive bring that incredible canter and the ability to jump cars to his offspring.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how big the cars are gonna be, but he's gonna jump cars. But anyway, he has a big stallion, and a really impressive type of horse, and a really impressive stallion, whose name fits him good. He has a good gallop, he has a lot of scope, and he's a careful horse. And also has a mother line, are all good jumpers, good and big mares. So as you also can see in his offspring, they're all big size horses with a really good big gallop and a lot of scope.
Which is really good for, you know, for people breeding from like smaller, sharper, quicker mares, then Impressive could be a very good match for them.
Yeah, we also use him here a lot in Holland on the lighter mares, but he makes really nice size horses and good jumpers. We're very happy on him.
Good, good. Okay, so the next stallion is won by one of my all-time favourite stallions in Doctorow, and that is Inaico.
Last but certainly not least, Inaico in Doctorow Blue de Muze Ercos Ulao. Born in 2013, 1m68 and approved by the KWPN. He is the one and only full brother to the famous Hello Milady of Scott Brash, winner of numerous 5-star Grand Prix and World Cups, and a fantastic horse, the classic example of a modern show jumper. And those things also go for Inaico, for Hello Milady's full brother. In Doctorow Blue de Muze, a fantastic combination, and here at the VDL Stud they already say Inaico could be the follow-up for his famous sire. Inaico himself, he impresses with his light-footedness, with his blood type, and with his very efficient and effective way of jumping. He has electricity on the fence, he's quick off the floor, he has great reflexes and a lot of athletic scope. And together with Alex Gill, they've already shown some great results at national and international level. And now, turning 7 years of age, it seems only a matter of time until Inaico will make his appearance at the Grand Prix level. His first offspring made a great impression as well. At the KWPN Stallion show, we saw one of his sons get the premium title of the KWPN, and they also jumped light off the floor, a lot of power, a lot of scope, very modern. Inaico in Doctorow Blue de Muze, top horse for the future.
So VE, but one of my all-time favourite mares that I owned was a mare by in Doctorow, and she and all the offspring I've ever seen by in Doctorow has really impressed me with their super quick reflexes. You know, their really good mental capacity and willingness to do what you wanted them to do. Inaico, does he have those super quick reflexes, and does that pass on to the next generation?
Yes. Inaico, Doctor has already more approved sons and quite a lot already. But in our opinion, Inaico stands the closest to him. In his type, in the way he's jumping, and in his mind. And now when you see the first Inaicos, they're 4 years old now, the first ones. You can see the same thing again. He's like in Doctor, like his father. They breed even better than they are by themselves. You know, they make good rideable horses with blood enough, a good technique, a good way of jumping, and good rideability.
Which is great news. I think we have a client's question.
Yes, we do. Someone got in touch and wanted to know what mares does he suit best? What qualities can he pass on to his foals?
Yeah, he's a lighter type of stallion. He gives size enough, but you should not take the smaller, lighter mares from him. Normal size to bigger size mares, that's better. And he gives them blood, and he gives a good rideability, and in the way of jumping, a good using of their body, and very careful horses.
Okay, yeah, super. Okay, so the next stallion is another new one for us. He was he wasn't in the EU centre previously, I don't think so. And that is Landino.
Landino, Staccato Gold, Silton Nimmador Ladykiller. One of the homebred stallions of the VDL Stud, born in 2016. Invited for the stallion test of the KWPN and the winner of the stallion test of the RPS. He was the champion at the NRBS Stallion test with 8 for his canter, a 9 for his character, his 9 for his behavior, an 8.5 for his jumping, a 9 for the push from the floor, 8.5 for his jumping technique, 8.5 for his scope, and an 8.5 for the general impression, the talent as a show jumper of this Landino. Sired by the great Staccato Gold. Staccato Gold, the son of Staccato, and Staccato Gold, who every time passes on electric reflexes and scope. Very, very modern show jumpers by Staccato Gold. Here out of the mare Sankara VDL, who already produced the 160 Grand Prix show jumper Aksai Chin VDL. And the Grand Dame Sankara is one of the most famous mares of the VDL stud. Sankara is also the dam to Pessoa VDL, to Montreal VDL, but foremost the mother of the Olympic silver medalist and the world champion Boubalou VDL of Jurfrieling. Out of one of the best dam lines of the VDL stud breeding program, this great talent Landino, 4 years of age, by Staccato Gold, Silton Nimedor, bred out of the sister of the Olympic silver medalist and world champion VDL Boubalou.
So the Staccato line and his offspring have always impressed me with their ability to use their back and their neck really well over the fence. They make a fantastic shape. Would you say that Landino brings this quality? Would you use him on mares which are particularly tight in the back? And
yeah, he's because you can see it in the way he jumps. He's very loose in his body. He's a very technical jumper. He's light and he is elastic. He's from a very good mother family. His mother, grandmother, and grandmother all give Grand Prix jumper. And he is a medium size, so he's not really big, but he's medium size. And we have seen the first foals now, just born, I think 4 or 5 foals now. And he can be used in our mind as a kind of thoroughbred stallion, or stallion to get more elasticity and lightness in your mares. Now in Holland we have used a lot of thoroughbreds in the past, but it's difficult for us to use them now because our jumping horses are different now than in the past. And the thoroughbreds are also different than in the past, so it's not so good to find a nice one again. But a stallion like Landino, like he is built and he moves and like he seems now to produce his foals, that's the one who can give us a lot of more sporty things in the mares.
that's good. The first few foals of him, which is great, isn't it? You know, to start to see them come through is really interesting and yeah, gives you a good insight into what they're going to put.
4 or 5 foals born now. I've seen them all 5, and they're all the same kind of foals. So that means that it's going to be that we are very satisfied on it, and that we have high hopes for him as a important breeding stallion. Fantastic,
great. Okay, so another slightly younger stallion now, and that is Pommerol de Muze.
Pommerol de Muze, Emerald, Canaan, Taran de la Pomme, Darko, Nabab Chin Chin. What a pedigree for this only 5-year-old stallion, 1.67 meters and approved in Belgium. By Emerald, out of the dam by Canaan, and the Grand Dam is Caipirinha, and she competed up to 160 level with the Canadian rider Tiffany Foster. Great Grand Dame Carrera de Muze was a successful show jumper herself, and she is the daughter of Walnut de Muze of Harry Smolders. We have the world famous Carly Chin dam line here with Pommerol de Muze, one of the best dam lines in the world at the moment, producing horses like Go Easy de Muze, Enzo de Litrange, and many, many more. The sire is Emerald. He is one of the up-and-coming sires, previously ridden by Harry Smolders up to 160 Olympic level, and nowadays the sire of many 160 show jumpers as well. Combining this with the great Canaan, Taran de la Pomme, Darko, and Nabab and we don't need to say any more about the pedigree of Pommerol de Muze. Himself is a very, very interesting show jumper. He jumps with scope, He's very light of his feet and he has the right intelligence to jump the fences and judge the fences. A very modern horse and one for the future. Pommerol de Muze, Emerald, Kanan, Taran de la Pom.
So Pommerol de Muze looks like a much stronger frame stallion. He looks like, you know, a much heavier horse than others like Landino and Inaico. But he also looks like he has really fast reflexes and is light to ride. What feeling does he give under the saddle?
James rides him, James Billington, also English. He rides him and he likes him a lot. The horse is really careful, and also in the competition he has good mind. He's very clever on the fences, and he's quick from the floor, and he has a lot of scope, he thinks. And when you see him jumping, it looks all a little bit simple. No, he does it easy. It's not like it's huge jumps he makes, but it's all clever jumps and very careful. And he is rideable, and he is a bigger frame stallion, and he also gives bigger frames on the foals and also size.
Okay, so he does bring that size, but also that ability to react quickly, which is an important combination, isn't it?
Yeah, like he's from the father, Emerald, who's also quite a sharp horse. He's also very sharp on the fences. He doesn't make no mistakes or almost no mistakes in competition, so that's also a good sign. And we had I think we had some of his first foals that are 2 years old now. We had in from the group stables to see how they developed and to make some small jumps, and that looked really good.
Okay, so that's good. So the first crop of two are looking promising for you.
Yeah, and also good size and good bones. So that's something you have to take in mind when you choose the mare.
Okay, so not a very heavy mare for him because he's going to give enough frame.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the last stallion is one that everybody knows. He's been on the competition circuit for a very, very long time, very successfully, and that is Zirocco Blue.
Zirocco Blue, Mr. Blue, Voltaire, Le Todesimi, Jalisco B. 16 years of age, the one and only Zirocco Blue. Also awarded preferent by the KWPN. The great sire, ridden by Jurfrieling up to the very highest level. Already from a young age, he was a fantastic talent. This Zirocco Blue, approved by the KWPN as a 3-year-old, and already very striking with all his scope and his fantastic pedigree. Later on, in sport, in show jumping with Jurfrieling, he turned out to be one of the best stallions of his generation, competing up to the highest level and securing many victories for the Dutch team. A gold medal at the European Championships in Aachen in 2015 was definitely one of the highlights of his career. And also the Grand Prix victory in Melsonvik, the World Cup of Oslo, the Grand Prix of the KWPN Stallion Show, the Grand Prix of Geesteren, the Grand Prix of Copenhagen, as well as the Nations Cup victories in Rotterdam, Copenhagen and Gijon. What a fantastic career Zirocco Blue has had. And in breeding, he is also one of the very best. He's already produced horses like Eddie Blue of Devon Ryan, who became world champion with the US team in trial back in 2018, as well as Deep Blue Bridge and Willem Greves Go-Go, Glamour Girl of Richard Howley and Jannica Sprunger, Flair of Steve Kerda, and McLean Ward's Jet Blue. There's only a few examples of very successful offspring of the mighty Zirocco Blue competing at the very highest level. One of the best sires of his generation, without a doubt, by Mr. Blue and Voltaire, Zirocco Blue, VDL.
So Zirocco Blue has done amazing things in sport and has so many offspring now, you know, competing at great levels. But is there one thing that you would say Zirocco Blue passes on and connects, you know, his progeny?
Yeah, like himself, when he was 4 and 5 years old, he did a good job. He was always clear, but was not really impressive on the fences. But when he gets 6, 7, 8, 9, he started to jump. When the fences got bigger, he really started to use his body and start to use more power, because he has so much power. As a young horse, for him it was sometimes difficult to cope with himself on the fence. As long when he started to get older, it got really better. But also his offspring, the older they get, the better they go, and they have a strong body, strong back and loins and hind power, and that's what he had by himself. And he also passes really on to his offspring.
Yeah.
And a good mentality in the ring. You want to be careful. You want to be clean.
Yeah, which is, you know, power in the hind end and the desire to do the job is two fundamental things that you require, don't they? When we're trying to bring horses. Yeah, yeah. Okay, we have a few clients' questions. So Millie is gonna.
Yep, so we have had someone contact in saying that they have a Zirocco Blue Marlon mare. She's 165 centimeters compact, great movement, conformation and front end. What stallion would you recommend to add better temperament, height and longer lines?
A better temperament?
Longer
and
lines?
Height and longer lines. I think we'll choose for Glasgow or Impressive.
Glasgow or Impressive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brilliant. Thank you. And then we also have someone who's looking for a stallion with a lot of blood. Her mare is a big build. Which stallion do you think would help with that?
Landino. For Treasure. Carrera.
Brilliant.
Carrera does seem to bring blood to the offspring, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So.
He brings blood to the offspring, and he can have a little bit bigger mare. For him is no problem.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay.
So we'll move on now to the next stallion, which is Carrera.
By Balubert de Rouet, Zeus Orlov. 14 years of age, with a height of 1,70 m, and he competed at 160 level himself. Bred out of the mare van Tiels Esprit, a Grand Prix show jumping mare and the sister to the legendary Dinka's boy of Marcus Fuchs. Carrera is a great talent himself with Jur Vrieling and James Billington. He jumped very successfully at international level and won the First Nations Cup he did in Drammen. He also won the Grand Prix competitions of Vestfold and Zuidwolde, and every time he stood out with his fantastic way of jumping, his electricity on the fence and his athletic ability. Carrera definitely combines the best of his sire and grandsire of Cardento and Balubert de Rouet, both greats in jumping and in breeding. And Carrera himself is a very interesting stallion as well, because some of his offspring show all the talent that he had himself. The quality, the reflexes, but also the scope that we need for the highest level. They're very modern show jumpers, very light on their feet, and they have an extremely high level of carefulness. One of his very striking offspring is the talented Bruce stallion Carrera VDL. Carrera VDL, who we will see later on this presentation as well. It was the champion of the stallion test with 87.5 points. Also, some of his offspring are already competing at international level, such as Goldfinger, ridden by Jan Schuttert and nowadays Hendrik Jan Schuttert, as well as Inea, VDL Imar, Ina Lotti, and many, many more. Carrera VDL by Cardento, out of them by Balubert de Rouet. It is himself a fantastic jumper, and he also passes it on to his offspring.
And the next stallion is a new one for you. We'll watch a video of him now, but then we'll be really excited to hear about him, and that's Chatinue.
Yep.
And we have 444 here on course. It's Chatinue. It's another ride for Derek Kenny. And a horse presented to us by Oakland Ventures that I'll see out of Wellington, Florida. 444. Chatinue. 78.3 rider reference and a clear round into the jump off in ring 2.
Okay, well, thank you very much to Wiebe Ida and to Hanneke, who I know is also there in the background. And thank you to all of you for joining us tonight and showing us your stallions. It's been a great pleasure and a great honour to do that with you. And for anybody that's interested, you know, this has been recorded, so we will now you know, put it on the Elite Stallions YouTube channel, and we will also put it on our Elite Stallions Breeders Club page, so that people can continue to watch, you know, whilst they're trying to decide on stallions. If anybody has any questions about, you know, the stallions we've seen tonight or the other VDL stallions, then please feel free to contact either Millie or I at the office here, or you know, and we can also filter any questions direct to Wiebe Ida or to Hanneke direct, you know, to help you with any queries that you have. So please feel free to contact us with any questions whatsoever. Thank you very much.
Thank you for making this possible for us, and to give us a chance to help you. And another thing I want to say, on the 2nd and the 3rd of April, we have our Stallion show online. And it's in 2 parts, first half and the second half. The first half is on the 2nd of April, and the second half on the 3rd of April. And it starts at our time at 8 o'clock in the evening. And it's 1 hour and a half every evening. It's in English, Dutch and German.
Oh, in English,
Brilliant.
That's marvellous.
Yes.
And so 7 o'clock UK time, we can tune in and watch all of the VDL stallions that we have available.
You can see it on our website and on Clip My Horse.
Fantastic.
Brilliant, thank you.
Have a wonderful evening. Thank you very much,
Thank you
everybody,
for
for joining
joining.
us. And thank you very much to VDL.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Bye.